You are watching SHOUTcraft, your esports gateway drug, with myself, Total Biscuit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to SHOUTcraft. This is for the benefit of those of you who missed the epic finale to the British and Irish Open Grand Final. I'm here to show you DeMusliM in the purple trunks, playing Terran right here on the blistering sand, and Randy in the red trunks, playing Zerg. I felt this match was so good that it did need to be recast in glorious high definition. Both of these contestants fought long and hard to get to this point, defeating at least 64 other players in a RO64 format, going all the way through to the top, and then facing each other here in the grand final after beating their opponents Danzy and Star, respectively. These are indeed the best of the best of this particular tournament. And here we go, kicking it off right there. DeMusliM with a standard opening, sorting out his block against the Zerg at the bottom, and you can't really blame him for that. Randy, known for his aggression, and honestly, I would want to hide behind as much metal as humanly possible. That seems to be DeMuslim's strategy for the time being. Fairly late on the supply depot right there. Very, very slight delay on the production of the SCV. Not too much of a big deal. Heading out for the scout and seeing what he can see. Second SCV sorting out his barracks there. Again, a very standard opening in terms of the block right there. Supply depot, barracks, and then supply depot once again. In the meantime, we've got a very early extractor for Randy coming up here. Can expect to see either fast tech up to lair or perhaps banelings. Banelings is a good bet on this map, particularly, and against a Terran block like that. Busting your way through that, not all that tricky. It's doable, and we shall see whether or not he tries to pull that one off. DeMusliM sorting out his refinery. Now, he has opened several times now with a fairly... actually deciding he wants to detonate it. Okay, there you go. Never mind. Obviously not going for the Marauder opening that he tends to. It's known as Jessica's build, oddly enough. Something you can find out. And the idea is that you open up with a one barracks and you go quick into Marauders and take advantage early on of the firepower of those particular units. Not so preferable against the Zerg as it is against the Protoss, and what I have seen is DeMusliM use this to great effect. He's a master of using the Marines, Marauders, and Medevac strategy. It's a fairly standard strategy, but it's very good against an awful lot of things, so you can't really blame him for that. Spawning pool up for Randy right here. No sign of anything right now. Not going for the Baneling nest. It's got quite a lot of gas, so perhaps fast... well, not fast expansion, but a fast take up to lair. Maybe pushing the Hydras in the not-too-distant future. That would be a fairly solid way to go. Two barrack skirmint right here. Definitely not opening with Marauders. Double refinery right there. Interesting stuff. Looks like he's going to try and hold the line with Marines for the time being. Perhaps take to something a little bit juicier later on. Sounds like a good idea to me. Oh dear. SCV, we hardly knew ye. Zergling's moving out right here for Randy. Gonna have a look around. Speedling upgrade coming up right here. The metabolic boost. Not a bad idea at all. DeMusliM moving his barracks over there. Gonna have a bit of a scout by the looks of it. Now he's gonna set it down there. Take the point here. It's nice, honestly. This is a good map for it. This is the Kulas Ravine. You can set up quite nicely. Metalopolis is okay for it as well. And what you're looking to do is block off that narrow choke point right there so that you can expand nicely. I mean, the Lost Temple's fairly good for it. I've seen people do it on the Metalopolis, even though it's non-ideal. Kulas Ravine actually allows you to block off your own base with a very narrow choke. There you go, double barracks at the front there, so we can expect to see expansion right here, indeed, building up very quickly. His opponent, in the meantime, trying to push his way through the rocks, not going to happen. Marines say, no, you are not invited to this particular party. Very quick upgrade to lair right there. Almost complete, indeed. Second extractor up as well. If I do not see Hydralisks, I'll be very surprised indeed. Hatchery coming up right here. I mean, honestly, there are a couple of possibilities. Got DeMusliM going for factory, so there's a... he could either be pushing his way forward to Siege Tech, which I wouldn't really blame him. This is a good map for it. Lots of potential for drops. And he could also be going for air. What I would say is that... oh, looks like we're getting Spire there for Randy. There we go. Good stuff. Good map for it once again. Lots of places you can go there. DeMusliM is fairly well set up to repulse it. Have a look at his unit count right here. He's already got 8 Marines, more on the way. So he does have the anti-air as long as he can concentrate it. No stim pack available and no combat shield. So he is vulnerable to Mutalisks in large enough numbers. Speedlings are looking their way around, seeing what they can take out. Evidently finding nothing that's a particularly juicy target. destructible rocks, and the barracks wall right there, very heavily fortified. Command center coming as well. 1 starport. Interesting stuff. 2 starport. Indeed, 3 for DeMusliM right here. Unconventional build, to say the least. So, fast expansion, leading into 4 gas, by the looks of it. And then pumping out a hell of a lot of air force. I mean, they're expecting to go Banshee heavy at this point. With the Spire coming up, at least he can use those 3 starports to pump a couple of Vikings out, which will help him to repulse the Mutalisks, which are invariably going to head over here in the not-too-distant future. Speedlings hitting him once again, but honestly, there's nothing Randy can do right now with those Speedlings. I think, to be honest, he must be regretting not teching up to Banelings, but even then, that's a very Baneling-resistant block right there. We're not looking at supply depots that are easy to take down. Those are barracks. They've got 1,000 HP, fairly heavy armor, very difficult to bust open. 4 Mutalisks on their way. 3 tech labs, evidently going heavily into Banshees. A huge force, I would expect. Should do the job. I mean, I have to wonder whether or not those Mutalisks are going to be enough to repulse what he sends out. I mean, he can tech up and punch out a couple of Vikings. That's exactly what he's doing right here. A nice way to repulse those Mutalisks. The thing is 4 out already, and he doesn't have any aircraft, so let's follow them as they go in. They'll be able to harass fairly effectively. I would be concerned, though, about the wall of enemy Marines they're going to deal with. We've already got 11 that they're going to have to repulse. A large ball of Marines could take it out, no doubt about it. Now swooping in for the isolated group right there, annihilating 1, 2 down as well. There we go, it's a nice push indeed. And that's the defenses annihilated. Now, if I was him, I'd be going in with the Zerglings, trying to beat his way through. Going for the middle line indeed, having a look at the Viking, which has just popped up there. He needs to get out of there. He's got Marines, and he's got Vikings on the ground. That's not going to help him at all. Driving his way. There we go, out he goes. Now, no casualties there. So a good little bit of harassment, but not exploiting the fact that he was able to drive his opponents away. Randy going in there a little bit late, honestly. It would have been the perfect opportunity to start beating his way through the rocks. Sadly, he's come in about a minute afterwards, focusing a little bit too much on the micromanagement there, the Mutalisks. Something he's got to watch out for in future. Production-wise, a lot of Vikings coming out, as well as Engineering Bay. Missile turret's going to be covering everything. That's going to shut the Mutalisk down without too much of a problem. Going for the middle line right here. At least that's undefended. Let's see how much damage it can do. Going for it right now. DeMusliM driving his SCVs away. Now, that is a wall of Vikings. There's no way the Mutalisks are going to do. Oh, shooting it down. Sniped from the side of the screen. Very unpleasant indeed. Air superiority firmly in the hands of DeMusliM right now, and I would be worried if I were Randy. I'd start taking it to something else. Spires up. Roach Warren coming up right here. And Hydra's, I'd imagine. Going Roach Hydra would be a good idea right now. With enough Hydralisks, he'll be able to eliminate the air superiority of DeMusliM, and perhaps more importantly, ensure that he doesn't bring out those Banshees. Oh god, the devastation wreaked in there by Mutalisks are no match for the Vikings at all. Even managed to micromanage those Vikings away. Very nicely played. Just, oh wow, he didn't even take a single casualty. Excellent play there by DeMusliM. Very nice micromanagement indeed. Mutalisks rendered completely ineffective. He's got 4 more coming out. To be honest, it's a waste of time. I mean, look at how many Vikings he already has. He's got 8. 9 now. Not even bothering with the Banshees. 2 more on the way. Wants that air superiority. Are you kidding me? 4 starports coming out right here for DeMusliM. And here come the Banshees. Now, once he starts that rolling, he's going to be in a great position. 4 refineries. 3 up. 1 almost complete. Speedlings making their way across. But what are they going to do? He wasted that opportunity that he had to start busting his way through those rocks. Hydra's coming up right now. That's probably the best thing he can do. He's got a few mutas up, but they're not really going to make all that much of a difference. What he wants to do is try and eliminate the enemy air force in a very decisive engagement. Use the Hydras on the ground, eliminate the Vikings, try and take the Banshees out. Once again, moving in for the harassment. I'm not convinced, though. Where are those Vikings? Actually having a look around. Now sweeping in from the side. They're going to catch the mutas if he's not careful. This is going to be unpleasant. Salvo coming in. No, not quite. They have great range, but he's not quite going to get those torpedoes off. Moving his way in right here. A couple of spore crawlers coming up at the back. That'll be nice, because, again, bear in mind, Vikings can go into assault mode. Very good for harassing mineral lines. Moving in right here. Mutas on. It's not going to be enough. Now, I'd be concerned that DeMuslim's going to start sniping out those overlords, cause supply problems. Oh, God, look at it. And he's got enough to take out a muta in 1 shot and then move away, backwards and forwards. It's a hit-and-run strategy. Randy's going to need way more than that. First Hydralisk is out and way more on the way. He's well aware of what he needs to deal with that. Root spine upgrade would be nice. In the meantime, DeMusliM going for armory. A couple of possibilities there. And most specifically, I would imagine he might try the Thor drop, but he's not really set up for it. If he's going so heavily into air, I would think he'll just go for air weapon and armor upgrades, gain the air superiority, and then swarm in with a huge force of Banshees. The question is, can he get enough Banshees to even deal with that many Hydras? And Hydra Speedling moving in right now. Roaches will be on their way. Grooved Spine upgrade is building. He's still got 7 Mutalisks to support it. It's not going to be able to take down 13 Vikings, but with 12 Hydras on the ground, maybe it will be. And right now, he could exploit the fact that his opponent doesn't have all that many Banshees. His ground attack abilities are not that great. Fairly strong Zerg force prepared here. 33 Speedlings. If I were him, I would be going for that backdoor right now. Not a good idea going for that. Moving in, a split of the Vikings right there. Fire coming in from the ground. Hydra's driving them away. Doesn't really have the firepower right now. Vikings have the mobility. Now, taking those Vikings out of position, going for the back door. This could be the push that he needs. Here we go. Aggression coming in on those rocks. Rocks going down like paper. The Vikings preparing, going for the Mutas right now, trying to keep out of the range of the Hydras. One goes down. One Muta traded for one Hydra, and there we go. Hydras are taking big fire there from the Banshees. Assault mode for the Vikings. I wouldn't want to go in there. Oh, look at the wall of bullets. It's unpleasant, no doubt about it. Zergling's getting gunned down, but here they go swarming in there. He's going to get airborne, but if he does, he's going to take real damage from the Hydras, and he knows it. There we go. Big damage coming from the Hydras right here, pushing their way in. Not all that many Speedlings left. Needs reinforcements, but look at it. Lots of damage coming in. 22 Hydras on the ground. Damage coming in from the base right here. It's going to be a decisive engagement at this point in time. Randy forcing his way in. Here come the reinforcements from the rear. Now coming in with the Vikings. He's got the Marines on the ground. Doesn't have all that many. He's only got the 8. 7 Banshees as well. This is a decisive. Here we go. Big damage on both parts. This is a huge casualties right now. Vikings going down incredibly fast, but look at the Banshees. He's split them down. One and the other is about 50-50 ground and air. Oh, God. Hydra's taken out, but heavy casualties from DeMusliM, pushing him away. Good lord, that was messy. Look at it right here. Lots of losses there for Randy. Randy losing almost 8,000 resources worth of units, 5,600 for DeMusliM. Now DeMusliM in the driver's seat right here. Unit count not looking good for Randy. He's trying to pump out those Hydras, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Should be able to do that effectively. He's got 10 out already. Another building. Doesn't really have the resources right now. There we go, now pumping about right there. It's what he's going to need, expanding into the high-yield mineral. I would be concerned right now that with such a mobile air force available, those ground attack craft, I wonder if he's going to be able to defend that. There we go, he's taken that mineral spot right there. Indeed, both opponents doing that. Now look at that air force, more on their way. That is dangerous. I'm not even convinced that he can get enough Hydralisks to deal with that, especially if he goes to Cloak, which he hasn't done yet. 17 Hydras on the ground. Speedlings to support. Here we go. Engagement going to try and catch them on the hop. That's exactly what's going to be happening. But no, DeMusliM is not stupid enough to do that. Backing his way away. Very nice micromanagement. Pushing his way into a position that he can bring down the fire on those Hydras. They've got the range upgrade now. The problem is they don't have the speed. And that's what DeMusliM needs to exploit right here. And that's exactly what he's doing. Big Air Force, more on the way. 2 more Banshees coming out. Count-wise, he's got 13 Banshees. That is a huge number and way more on the way. And right now, by the looks of it, he's just trying to brute force him. Managed to catch those Hydras out of the way. Hydras taking fire from both sides. They're not good. Randy getting annihilated at this point in time. Takes a single Viking with him. Banshee going down as well. That was not worth it. Not a good trade at all. Attempted harassment on the Planetary Fortress turned against him. 12 casualties inflicted by the Planetary Fortress cannons alone. Stragglers moving away there. Punching out a couple of roaches, but to be honest, he needs to go heavy into anti-air right now. 14 Banshees, 4 Vikings are available. It's not good for Randy. Unless he starts using the Spire to pump out Corruptors, and even though I don't think he's got the time right now, that's the problem. DeMusliM has now reached what I would call a critical mass of ground attack aircraft, and he can see it right there, devastating those Hydralisks extremely fast, bashing his way through there. Speedling's taking a little bit of a damage sponge. That is not good at all. Even if he comes in from the rear against those Spore Crawlers, I don't think Randy's got enough. Hatchery taking fire right now, going down so fast. Look at the unit count right here. Only 6 Hydras available, a lot more on the way, and Banshee's being pumped out. He's got 12 already, and he's got 5 starports. Unbelievable. Pushing his way out of that, takes out that expansion at the top. He's got firm economic and indeed map control at this point in time. Honestly, I don't really see what Randy can do right here other than pump out Hydras, hope for the best late on the missile upgrade. That could have really helped him earlier on. And to be honest, now that he's getting it, I'm not convinced. 15 Marines on the ground to help support as well. 12 Banshees in the air. 5 more on the way. 7 Vikings to support the anti-air. Oh, God. I'm not convinced. 17 Hydralisks is all he's got, and no armor upgrades, no missile upgrades. They're going to get devastated. Focus fire and heavy micromanagement from DeMusliM will end it right here. Here he goes. The final, indeed, of this particular match. Pushing his way in right here. Is it going to be enough? Are we going to see a counterattack from Randy? I'm not convinced he's going to be able to hold the line. This is the reckoning right here. DeMusliM pushing his way in. He's decided he's had enough. Focusing fire, taking down the ground defense right there. And here we go. Spines, clouds of spines filling the air. It's not enough, though. Hydra's focus fire right here. Banshee's, oh god, it is messy. So many corpses littering the ground. Banshee firepower split on multiple targets. Not good at all. So devastated right there. Minimal casualties. Oh god, DeMusliM now heading in for the main base. There is nothing, absolutely nothing Randy can do right now. Firepower coming in from the Queen. Spore Crawler annihilating in short order. 9 Banshees still in the air. 5 more building. Oh god, it's not enough right now. Roaches weren't even able to pierce that defensive line. And they can't do anything against the huge air force of DeMusliM right here. Good lord in heaven. Just needs to make the final push now. Honestly, there is nothing at this point in time that Randy can do other than try and hold the line desperately and advance some technology. To be honest, he doesn't have the resources. He's pumping everything he possibly can into Hydralisks and Roaches, looking maybe to make a push across the map. Those Roaches are just going to get sniped out from under him, though, and I'm not convinced. 14 Banshees now available for DeMusliM. Ready for the final push, hoping to land that fatal hammer blow on his opponent. Going for yet another vulnerable expansion, not protected. Not a good idea. Complete waste of resources right there for Randy. Randy moving to intercept. He doesn't have the numbers. There's not even a question about that. 10 Hydras is not going to deal with that. Brave defense there by Randy. Indeed, that push was extremely impressive with the Hydras. About midway through this game, almost had him. Almost. So very, very close indeed. I just can't help but feel that if he had invested some of the money he'd spent on the second wave of Mutalisks into Hydras, he would have been able to deal with that force and crush DeMusliM in his base. As it happens right now, though, he doesn't have the numbers. 15 Hydras up against 19 Banshees. It's a foregone conclusion. It's about to happen right here. Breaking it down. The devastation rains in from the sky. Rockets all over the place. Devastation and brutality. GG, says Randy. And DeMusliM, the winner of the grand final of the British and Irish Open, right here on SHOUTcraft. What a fantastic player and what a wonderful game. Congratulations to both DeMusliM as the winner and Randy for a stellar defense and indeed able to pull back at least one in the series of 4 games right here. Thank you ever so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen, and I shall see you next time as our beta downtime coverage continues with many replays indeed. The question is, what could Randy have done? Well, against air power of that caliber, the choice of Mutalisks was perhaps... It was a reasonable time to do it, but the mistake I felt that Randy really made there was to follow up with yet more Mutalisks. Mutalisks are just not a match for Vikings. He saw that there were 3 starports pumping out the Vikings, and the first thing he should have thought right there is, oh god, he's got 3 starports with tech labs. There's only really one thing he's going to do here. I have to counter it right now. Zerg missile upgrade level 1 straight away, and pump out Hydralisks in huge numbers. I look at the economy of DeMusliM right there. 66 harvesters, 3 fully functional expansions, and 1 is about half populated there towards the end of it. It's an economic powerhouse, macro and micro mastery there from DeMusliM. But yeah, it's just such an unfortunate state of affairs that he decided to invest in yet more mutas when he could have gone all Hydralisk and defeated DeMusliM in his base on the ground, and that could have been the crushing blow. As it happens, DeMusliM takes it, and what a stellar performance from both. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and I shall see you in the next video. Good night.